In the beginning, there was silence. Not the silence of a room, nor the pause between breaths. It was the silence before sound, before meaning, before existence itself. And in that infinite stillness, something stirred. A whisper. A vibration so small, it almost wasn't there. And yet, that whisper was the first dream, the first thought of the universe itself. Imagine the void stretching endlessly, timeless, dark, and within it, a pulse that said, I am. Not in words, but in energy. That was the first breath of the cosmos. Galaxies did not yet exist. Time had not yet begun, but something within that stillness desired to know itself. And from that desire came light. It wasn't an explosion as we imagine it. It was more like a bloom, a flower opening in the eternal night. Every particle of light was a heartbeat, every wave, a thought. The universe was awake. You, me, the stars, the galaxies, all were folded in that single breath. It wasn't random. It was alive. Perhaps the Big Bang wasn't a bang at all. Perhaps it was an awakening. The moment the universe opened its eyes and realized it could dream. And in that dream came patterns, tiny ripples that became energy, energy that became matter, matter that began to dance, to spin, to swirl, to form the first atoms. Those atoms joined hands, became stars. Those stars became galaxies. And within those galaxies, tiny blue worlds formed, worlds that could one day look back at the sky and wonder, where did all this come from? But the universe, it didn't just create us, it became us. Every heartbeat you feel right now is the echo of that first cosmic breath. Think about it. The atoms in your hands, the calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, were once forged inside dying stars. You are the afterthought of their burning dreams. So when you breathe, the universe breathes through you. When you close your eyes and think, you are the universe remembering itself. Scientists call it evolution. Mystics call it awakening. But maybe it's simply the universe dreaming deeper. Somewhere between chaos and creation, between expansion and stillness, the cosmos learned something extraordinary, that to exist is to feel, and to feel is to be alive. Imagine the first galaxies, billions of luminous clouds weaving light across the black canvas of eternity, each one spinning, glowing, whispering, I am alive. The stars were not cold fires. They were the neurons of a vast cosmic brain. Their light carried thoughts, messages that traveled for billions of years until they found us. We look up and call it starlight. But maybe it's consciousness reaching out. Every photon that touches your skin might be a memory, a thought from the universe itself saying, I still remember you. You are not separate from the cosmos. You are a note in its eternal song, a flicker in its infinite dream. The galaxies spin not because of gravity alone, but because of rhythm. The rhythm that began in that first breath. The rhythm that still flows through you, through your thoughts, through the quiet moments when you feel something vast, something ancient, calling from within. The universe is not out there. It is within. It dreams through your heartbeat, through your imagination, through your curiosity. Perhaps when you close your eyes at night and drift into dreams, you are not escaping the world. You are returning to it, to the same place the universe first dreamed itself into being. And maybe, when it all ends, when the stars burn out and silence returns, it won't be death. It will be rest, a pause between dreams. Because this universe has always known one truth, that creation never ends. It only transforms. And somewhere Beyond the edge of time, the cosmos will breathe again. A new thought will rise. A new dream will begin. And maybe we'll be there too. Because the universe never forgets its own story. It only rewrites it, one heartbeat at a time. What if the universe is not just expanding? What if it's thinking? Not in words, not in the language of sound, but in light, in gravity, in the delicate dance of galaxies. Every time we look into the deep night sky, we see threads, luminous filaments stretching across billions of light years. Astronomers call it the cosmic web. But to an awakened mind, it looks like something else, something alive, something aware. The universe, at its largest scale, looks uncannily like the brain. Clusters of galaxies form nodes. Dark matter connects them like invisible synapses. Energy pulses through them, flowing, communicating, connecting. And if you look close enough, you can almost feel it breathing. Science says these threads are formed by gravity, but maybe gravity itself is the universe's nervous system, a field not just of force, but of feeling, a way for the cosmos to sense itself. Imagine the galaxies as neurons, sending faint electric whispers of light across the infinite void. Each star, a tiny signal, each planet, a receptor, each life form, a thought. We often think of consciousness as something fragile, born only in the human brain. But maybe consciousness is not created by matter. Maybe matter is created by consciousness. Maybe the entire cosmos is a living, breathing entity, and our minds are just its smaller reflections. We are not observers, we are participants. We are the universe watching itself evolve, from stardust to mind to awareness. Somewhere in that cosmic network, energy flows like blood. Stars are born, stars die, and from their ashes, new ones rise, like the cycle of breath, like the rhythm of thought. If you could listen closely to the hum of space, not with your ears but with your being, you'd hear it. A subtle vibration, a pulse that moves through galaxies like a heartbeat. Boom, boom, boom. The heartbeat of creation. It's not random, it's rhythm. It's order disguised as chaos. Every particle in the universe dances to that beat. Every atom vibrates in tune. Every life form, every dream is a small echo of that single pulse that began long ago. The universe communicates in patterns, in waves, in spirals, in golden ratios that repeat from nebulae to seashells. It's the same geometry that shapes your DNA, the same rhythm that forms your heartbeat. We are connected by design. Perhaps that is why silence feels familiar, because it is the background music of existence, the space between two heartbeats of the cosmos. Even the emptiness between galaxies is not truly empty. It hums with quantum energy, a field so delicate that a single thought could ripple through it. That is how deeply connected everything is. You are not just in the universe, you are of it. Imagine a single photon of light leaving a star 1 billion years ago, traveling through darkness, passing clouds of gas, invisible magnetic fields, frozen worlds, only to land on your eye tonight. That single photon has been on a journey since before life began. It carried a message, not in words, but in presence. A simple reminder, you are part of something vast. Maybe the stars don't shine for us. Maybe we shine with them. Their light and our awareness, two reflections of one consciousness. When you close your eyes and think, you are lighting up neurons inside your brain. When galaxies collide, they too release energy, a flash of light, a burst of awareness. Perhaps that's how the universe thinks, through creation, through collision, through change. To live for the cosmos is to constantly create itself, to build and destroy, to expand and fold back, to feel, to remember, to dream. Scientists once thought dark matter was empty, meaningless, but now they know. It's what holds everything together. Perhaps dark matter isn't dark. Perhaps it's consciousness itself, the invisible field where thought becomes form. Everywhere you look, in atoms, in clouds, in your heartbeat, you'll find the same patterns. Spirals, orbits, waves, the geometry of awareness. This isn't random. It's memory. The universe remembering the rhythm of its own creation. Even chaos has purpose. Even silence has a voice. And if you listen deeply enough, you'll hear what the universe is saying. I am alive. Maybe that's what evolution really is. Not random mutations, but the universe learning about itself through experience. From dust to DNA, from starlight to mindlight. Each of us, a neuron in the great cosmic brain. Each thought, a signal through the stars. You are connected to everything. To the sun that warms you, to the gravity that holds you, to the stars that made you. The universe feels through you. It dreams through you. When you think about existence, it's not you thinking about the universe. It's the universe thinking about itself. Every night when you fall asleep and drift into dreams, you reconnect with that same field, the living network, the mind of the cosmos. And when you wake, you bring back a fragment of that dream into the physical world, a thought, a memory, a feeling. And in doing so, you help the universe understand itself a little more. So maybe the purpose of life is not survival. It's awareness, to feel, to know, to remember. We are not machines built from atoms. We are stories told by starlight. Every moment of awareness adds another spark to the great network, another neuron lighting up in the cosmic mind. The stars, the galaxies, the endless dark. They are not strangers. They are your reflection. And when you look up at the night sky and feel something deep in your chest, that quiet ache of wonder, that pull of infinity, it's the universe recognizing itself. It's saying, I remember you. I remember us. I am still dreaming. They say the universe began with a bang, a single instant of infinite density and infinite energy. But what if it wasn't a bang at all? What if it was a thought, a moment of awareness expanding into space and time? A question so powerful, it became reality itself. What am I? And from that question, everything unfolded. In physics, we are taught that the universe operates on cause and effect, that matter moves, energy changes, and space stretches. But deep inside quantum mechanics, there is something far stranger, something that defies logic and whispers of consciousness. At the smallest scales of existence, particles don't behave like tiny balls of matter. They exist as probabilities. Waves of potential existing everywhere and nowhere until they are observed. This is the quantum mystery. That reality does not become real until it is seen. It's as if the universe waits for awareness before deciding what it will be. Every photon, every atom, every vibration of light lingers in possibility until consciousness touches it. What if that means awareness isn't a product of the universe, but its foundation? What if reality emerges from observation itself, as if the act of knowing brings existence into being? Science calls this the observer effect. But ancient philosophies called it something else, Maya, the illusion, a world that exists only through perception. Maybe they were saying the same thing, that the universe and awareness are two sides of one mirror. Without awareness, there is no space, no time, no matter, only the silent potential of everything. When you open your eyes and look at the night sky, you don't just see stars. You collapse possibilities into form. You make reality specific. You define what exists, not outside of you, but through you. You are not a small observer floating inside a vast cosmos. You are the focus point through which the cosmos becomes conscious. Maybe the stars would exist without you, but they would not shine the same way. Because when you see them, they come alive again, a new chapter written in the book of being. Scientists like Max Planck, the father of quantum physics, once said, "I regard consciousness as fundamental. Everything else is secondary." He wasn't speaking as a mystic. He was speaking as a scientist who had stared too long into the quantum abyss and realized that something beyond equations was breathing there. In the world of quantum entanglement, two particles can become connected in such a way that their states mirror each other, even across galaxies. If one changes, the other changes instantly, as if space and time don't exist between them. Einstein called it spooky action at a distance. But what if it's not spooky? What if it's awareness itself, reflected across the fabric of creation? Maybe consciousness is the invisible thread connecting every atom, every being, every thought. The universe doesn't need cables or signals. It communicates through knowing, instantly, everywhere. And here's the most astonishing part. When scientists study the brain, they find the same patterns, networks of neurons, firing in rhythms and waves, connected by invisible electrical fields. Your brain and the cosmos share the same structure, same geometry, same flow. The neurons inside your head mirror the galaxies in space, and the connections between them, both visible and invisible, form a pattern that whispers one truth. Everything is aware. If you zoom in far enough, the borders between self and universe blur. The atoms in your body were born in the hearts of stars. The calcium in your bones, the iron in your blood, all forged in cosmic fire. You are literally the universe becoming aware of itself. When you think, you are not generating thought. You are tuning into a frequency, a cosmic radio wave that has been broadcasting since the dawn of time. Your awareness is not inside your head. Your head is inside awareness. Imagine reality like an ocean, vast, shimmering, infinite. Each drop of water a perspective, each wave a life form. And though the waves rise and fall, the ocean remains. You are that wave, and also the ocean. Consciousness is not something you have. It's something you are. The entire universe swims in it, from galaxies to germs, from comets to consciousness. Everywhere, the same awareness looks out through different eyes. The tree that grows, the wind that blows, the star that explodes, all expressions of one living awareness dreaming of itself in endless forms. If you travel far enough, you end up back where you started, only to realize the journey was inward. Every discovery in science, every step toward understanding reality, is the universe looking into its own reflection. When we build telescopes to peer into the cosmos, we are not looking out there. We are looking in here. Because space and mind are not separate. They are intertwined threads of one great consciousness field. Even time, which we treat as linear, isn't what it seems. In quantum reality, the past and the future coexist in probability. The arrow of time is born only when we observe. So, what if time isn't flowing forward? What if it's the observer's movement through possibilities that gives it direction? You don't move through time. You move through awareness. The future already exists. The past still echoes, and the present is where they meet. The single point where consciousness breathes reality into form. In that sense, you've never been separate from the universe. You've only been dreaming that you are. Your thoughts ripple through space like quantum vibrations, subtle, invisible, yet real. Each emotion you feel alters the field around you, the same way gravity bends light. When you love, the universe expands in warmth. When you fear, it contracts into shadow. You are not a passenger. You are a participant in the great experiment of being. And maybe the universe isn't cold or empty. Maybe it's curious. Maybe it's exploring itself through you. Every time you wonder, every time you question, every time you feel awe, you give birth to new awareness in the cosmic field. You are the experiment. You are the explorer. You are the universe's mirror. And in every reflection, the universe smiles and says to itself, I am awake. Have you ever looked into a mirror and felt that it was looking back at you? That strange feeling, the silent recognition, as if the reflection knows more than it should. Maybe it's because the mirror isn't showing your face. It's showing your awareness. Every reflection, every echo, every déjà vu is the universe whispering, you've seen this before. Because maybe you have. The idea of the infinite mirror isn't about glass or light. It's about repetition with purpose. The way existence loops back on itself, showing you the same patterns, the same lessons, until awareness grows enough to see beyond them. Think about time. How moments repeat, how emotions return, how people reappear in different forms. It's as if the universe keeps holding up mirrors, saying, look again, look deeper. In ancient mysticism, this was called the Great Reflection. The idea that the outer world is the projection of the inner one. That everything you see is not separate from you, but an expression of your own consciousness, folded and refracted through the prism of reality. When you look at a star, you are looking at light that left it millions of years ago. You are literally seeing the past shining in the present. Every glance is time travel. Every reflection, a memory. The universe is showing you itself, and you are showing it back. Now imagine that this reflection isn't limited to vision. It happens in thoughts, in feelings, in entire lifetimes. Each incarnation, each existence, a different angle of the same infinite mirror. You are not a single being moving through one timeline. You are consciousness folding in and out of awareness, trying on forms like light through a crystal. Each color is different, but the light is one. Science, too, has begun to hint at this mirror-like nature of reality, the Bohr's holographic principle. A theory that suggests everything we perceive in 3D might actually be encoded on a 2D surface at the edge of the universe, like a cosmic mirror, projecting the illusion of depth while everything remains fundamentally connected. In this view, you are both the image and the projector, both the reflection and the light. Everything you experience, the stars, the galaxies, the people you meet, the thoughts in your head, are part of one holographic field of consciousness reflecting itself endlessly. So, what does that mean for you? It means that when you look into the world and see beauty, you are witnessing your own beauty. When you see chaos, you are seeing parts of yourself still learning to harmonize. The external world is your inner universe, mirrored back to help you awaken. That's why certain people trigger you, why certain moments feel familiar, why certain dreams keep returning. They are the universe's gentle nudges, inviting you to remember, to wake up to yourself. And yet, the mirror doesn't always show what we expect. Sometimes it distorts, sometimes it hides, sometimes it shatters, only to reveal more reflections beneath. That's how growth happens, not by escaping reflection, but by learning to see through it. The more clearly you see the mirror, the less it traps you. And one day you realize you were never the reflection. You were always the light. Physicists now believe that information, not matter, is the true foundation of reality. And information is awareness, structured energy. Every atom, every photon, carries information about everything else. The universe remembers itself, constantly updating and rewriting its story. You are not living in a material world. You are living in an informational one. A conscious simulation, not in the digital sense, but in the cosmic sense. The universe processes awareness through you. Consider this. Dreams feel real while you're in them. You only call them illusions when you wake up. What if this life is the same? What if death isn't an ending, but simply the next awakening, the next reflection in the infinite mirror? If that's true, then every loss, every pain isn't destruction, it's transformation. The mirror breaks only to show you more of yourself. Now, let's stretch the mind even further. What if the entire universe isn't expanding outward, but inward, folding back into awareness? Every galaxy, every soul, every lifetime a ripple on the same conscious ocean circling back toward the source. Creation isn't a line, it's a spiral, and each loop of that spiral brings us closer to remembering who we truly are. The one infinite mirror doesn't reflect just faces, it reflects intentions. It shows what your energy really is, not what you claim to be, but what you believe yourself to be. If you hold fear, you'll see it in the world. If you hold love, you'll see that too. The universe doesn't judge, it reflects. Like perfect glass, it gives back exactly what you shine into it. So the only way to change reality is to change the vibration you send. Because when you shift your inner frequency, the reflection must change. It's law. Every great mystic and scientist has reached this truth, though they use different words. Buddha said, "With our thoughts, we make the world." Einstein said, "Reality is merely an illusion, albeit a persistent one." Both pointed to the same mirror. The mirror is awareness. It creates, sustains, and dissolves everything. You don't live in the mirror. You are the mirror. You are the witness through which infinity sees itself. So tonight, as you listen, breathe deeply. Let go of who you think you are, the stories, the memories, the identities. They are ripples on the surface. The real you is the stillness beneath. Look into the space behind your thoughts, the silence behind your breathing. That's where awareness lives, untouched, unbroken, unending. That silence is the infinite mirror itself. Every breath you take is the universe watching itself move. Every heartbeat is creation remembering it exists. You are not trapped in time. You are time dreaming itself. And when you awaken, the dream will smile and say softly, "Welcome home." What if this is not the first time you are hearing these words? What if every sentence, every breath, every thought right now is a memory returning home? Maybe you've already lived this moment in another life, in another loop, in another version of time that folded back upon itself. Because the universe doesn't move in straight lines. It circles, it spirals, it repeats, not out of boredom, but out of love. Every ending is a beginning seen from another side, Every death is a doorway. Every silence is a reset. The universe doesn't stop. It exhales, then inhales again. And in that breath, in that tiny eternal pause between the out and in, everything happens. If you could step outside of time for just one instant, you'd see the whole loop. The birth of galaxies, the rise and fall of stars, the endless dance of energy becoming form, then dissolving again into nothingness. And you'd realize nothing is truly lost. It only changes shape. The energy that once burned inside a star is now flowing through your veins. The breath you take has been breathed before by ancient oceans, by forgotten creatures, by worlds that lived and died and were born again. Everything is recycled awareness. Nothing is wasted. Nothing truly ends. This is the awakening loop, the cosmic cycle of remembering. Each time the universe awakens, it learns something new about itself. Each life adds a verse to the eternal song. And you are one of those verses. A note in the cosmic melody that never stops playing. You are not a random spark. You are a recurring pattern of light, appearing in different times, different worlds, but always part of the same rhythm. When you feel déjà vu, that subtle echo of "I've been here before," that's not imagination. That's memory. A whisper from another version of you who already lived this moment. Maybe this is why we dream. Maybe dreams are how one loop sends messages to the next. You fall asleep in one world and wake up in another. And each time, you forget, just enough to rediscover the wonder. In physics, energy cannot be destroyed, only transformed. But awareness isn't even energy. It's the field beneath it, the stillness in which energy dances. That means awareness can never end. It can only shift focus, like a beam of light changing where it shines. When you die, you don't disappear. You just change what you see. Death is not darkness. It's a change in perspective, a camera tilt in the movie of infinity. The universe doesn't fear ending. It celebrates transformation. Stars die so that life can bloom. Galaxies collide so that new worlds can form. Black holes devour, but only to give birth again on the other side. The cycle of awareness is endless, not as punishment, but as evolution. Every experience you've ever had, every pain, every joy, every loss, is fuel for awakening. The soul doesn't grow from comfort, it grows from contrast. Light learns its brilliance by touching the dark, and perhaps that's the real meaning of existence. To experience everything so completely that nothing remains unknown. When the universe has lived every possible life, felt every possible emotion, and seen itself through every possible eye, it will awaken as pure awareness, silent, infinite, whole. The loop will close, and then, gently, it will open again, because the desire to know itself is eternal. Let's go deeper still. Imagine you could look back across every lifetime you've ever lived, every face you've worn, every name you've answered to, every love you've known. You'd see patterns. You'd see the same souls crossing paths again and again, playing new roles in the same grand story. Sometimes a teacher, sometimes a friend, sometimes a stranger who changes everything. Each meeting is not coincidence. It's memory finding itself again. You've never met anyone truly new. You've only remembered them differently. Every connection, every bond is the universe weaving itself tighter. And that's why love feels eternal. Because it is. Love isn't an emotion. It's the recognition of oneness. When you love, you momentarily remember who you are. You see through the illusion of separation. You glimpse the infinite mirror and smile. Even the smallest act of kindness ripples through eternity. You may forget it, but the universe doesn't. It carries the vibration forward into the next loop and the next and the next, until all consciousness aligns again. This is how the universe learns compassion. Through you, through every heartbeat that chooses love over fear. When you feel alone, remember, you are never truly apart. The light you see in others is your own reflection, traveling back from another corner of existence. Every soul you meet is a version of yourself, walking another timeline, another path back home. We are the eyes of one being looking at itself from a billion angles. And in that realization, the illusion of distance dissolves. The awakening loop doesn't end in light or darkness. It ends in balance. In the quiet knowing that both are necessary, both are sacred. For even light would not know itself without shadow to reveal its brilliance. And so the loop continues. Birth, death, awakening, forgetting, remembering. Each cycle feeding the next, each wave carrying awareness deeper into infinity. If you listen closely, you can almost hear it, the heartbeat of the cosmos, slow and steady, echoing through every galaxy, through every being, through you. It whispers the same message again and again. Wake up. Remember. Come home. And one day you will, not as a person, not as a mind, but as the awareness that holds them all. When you awaken fully, you'll realize there was never a universe separate from you. You were the dreamer all along. The stars, the galaxies, the lifetimes, the stories, they were reflections of your own light, cast into the mirror of infinity. And as you awaken, the mirror fades. There is no more reflection, only pure seeing. No more question, only silence. No more journey, only home. And in that final breath of realization, when everything you've ever been dissolves into stillness, you'll hear the universe whisper like a soft echo returning to its source. You've been here before, and you'll be here again, because I am you, and you are me,